This is question 17 of LSAT PrepTest 157, second section, the first logical reasoning section. As always, we've got a highlight tool ready to go, and we read the question stem first. Which of the following arguments exhibits flawed reasoning most similar to the flawed reasoning exhibited by the argument above? So we're just going to highlight exhibits flawed reasoning through flawed reasoning the second time, knowing that we're being asked to find a parallel flaw. And just like every argument task, we need to highlight the conclusion first. So we're going to read the paragraph at this point. The average tax refund received by taxpayers who use tax preparation services is about 50% higher than the average refund received by those who do not. So if you want a large refund, you should use a tax preparation service. Okay. We want to mentally predict what the flaw is when we're presented with a clear parallel flaw task, because that's telling us that the argument doesn't logically follow. And if we can figure out what the flaw is proactively, it'll allow us to go through the answers more quickly. So let's just consider this paragraph up front. It says the average tax refund received by taxpayers who use tax preparation services is about 50% higher than the average refund received by those who do not. So if you want a large refund, you should use tax preparation service. Well, let's just think about this logically. It says that they get a tax refund. Well, does it guarantee that everybody who uses the tax preparation service even gets a refund? Absolutely not. Maybe there's a lot of people who use the tax prep service and don't get a refund at all. So that's what you want to have in your mind as our mental prediction. It's assuming that you get this return, even though it's possible that you don't. So we want to have that in mind and look for an answer choice that matches this prediction of assuming that you're going to get any positive result at all. So starting with choice A, people who invest heavily in the stock market generally have higher incomes than people who do not. So if you want to have a high income, you should invest heavily in the stock market. Well, this seems like the same thing, right? Because it's saying that these people generally have higher incomes. But just because they have higher incomes, maybe it's that they just have a higher income to start. And they did that you yourself, you might not have a high income. So you might not get the return at all by investment. So this really does match our same kind of structure, whereby that if you go in without the rights to get a high income, you're not going to get it from investing heavily in the stock market, just like you might not be eligible for a tax refund just by using tax preparation services. So that matches. Now we can move more briskly through the remaining answer choices after we scroll down to frame up B through E. So starting with B, establishing an in-house print shop usually enables companies to produce their publications more efficiently. So if your company produces publications, then it should establish an in-house print shop. Well, this has nothing to do with any sort of quantification. So here, we need quantification. We can eliminate choice B. Next, choice C. Quitting smoking will lower your life insurance premium and will also decrease your risk of lung cancer. So if you want to lower your life insurance premium, you should try to reduce your risk of lung cancer. Well, this here, it actually kind of misses the entirety of quitting smoking. So quitting smoking does this, but we don't actually have a link to quitting smoking and the risk of lung cancer. And this is more of a term shift than anything else. It's not the same sort of qualification that you're guaranteed to get a positive outcome in the first place. So we can eliminate choice C for that reason. Then choice D, people with larger than average estates to manage usually find it helpful to have their own lawyers. So if you have a larger than average estate to manage, you should get your own lawyer. Well, again, if you have this, then it's helpful. So if you have this, then you should do the thing to get help. This is actually a valid conclusion. So we're going to eliminate D as valid because we need something that was invalid. And then lastly, choice E, in deciding who they will call, telemarketers target people who have purchased from telemarketers in the past. So if you do not want to receive calls from telemarketers, you should not purchase anything from them. Again, this is a valid argument. We don't want a valid argument. So we should be able to eliminate choice E. And we already established through that opening prediction why choice A is the correct answer for number 17.